नमस्ते स्नेहा जी, कैसे हो आप?
Yes, sir, I'm fine.
Okay. I thought that you are not coming again.
Yes, sir, I came late.
Okay, let's begin today's session. Sit in any comfortable pose. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Again, inhale. And then exhale. Let's chant 3 times all together. Inhale one more time. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your head down. Open your eyes while blinking. And namaste. So today we're gonna go over to the forward bends. Okay. So we do have different forward bends in Ashtanga. If you are going for Ashtanga primary series, you will find all the postures that they are related to the forward bend, right? The triangle pose, Parshukonasana, side angle pose, wide leg forward bend, or you're holding a leg in front. So all these categories comes in your forward bend. Okay, primary series is all about forward bend. If you want to work on the forward bend, then you have to go through the primary series. Okay. So what are the fundamentals that we are going to understand in this forward bend? These are like how we are going to stretch our muscles. Like what are the things, what are the tendencies that we have got in our muscles when we are bending forward. Okay. So one tendency is whenever we are extending our muscle. Let's suppose if you are stretching your bicep muscle. Okay, if you are extending it out, right? If you're bending, so this is the resistance, this is the gravitational force. So here my resistance is more than the gravitational force. So at the same time, it's going to pull itself. Okay, so let's suppose like somebody is pushing me, like if somebody is pushing, like pulling me backward, like from this side, somebody is pulling me. Okay, at the same time, I'm also going to resist this, right? So this resistance is coming because my hand is not, my hand does not want to go to the right side, right? So what is actually happening in this? Your muscles is contracting itself so that it won't extend to that, beyond its limit. Your muscles extension is still here. If you're going, like if you're pushing it forward, like further than its limit, then it's going to contract itself. Okay, so this is the tendency of our muscle. Whenever we are extending our muscle too much, when it brings a lot of compression or lot of tension, then it starts to contract itself. Okay, so the moment when it contracts itself, it means it is going to protect your body, your muscle. Okay, your body is so intelligent, your muscles are so intelligent. They don't want you to tear yourself. Okay, they don't want you to tear them. So you may have also seen the forward bend. So when you do Paschimottanasana, this posture, when you're doing forward bend, if somebody is going to push you down towards the floor like this, so definitely you will, what you are going to do, you're going to resist. It's pushing down at the same time you're resisting because you got a lot of tension on your hamstring muscle, right? So this is the tendency of our muscle. It's going to resist itself. Whenever it feels like it cannot go further than this, it wants to stop there, it knows that where it has got its limit. Okay, am I audible to you properly?
Yeah, it's a little bit breaking. It's not that clear, but yeah. I have to take it near like my phone so I can hear you properly.
So what I'm saying that your muscle has a tendency to contract itself whenever it's going to extend further than its limit. Okay. The second tendency, whenever you are going to stretch your muscle, it's going to stretch from the insertion point. Okay.
Okay.
This is the origin point. This is your insertion point. Okay. Insertion point means ending point. Okay. So whenever you are stretching a muscle, it's going to stretch from the ending point, not from the middle or from the top. Okay, let's talk about rubber on your hand. If you're extending it out, so the maximum stretch that will come at the ending point. Okay, if you're and then if you go further than its limit, it's going to break. It is going to definitely break from the ending point, not from the middle, not from the origin point, right? So this happens in your muscle. Like muscle is kind of rubber in your body, right? So it can be flexible, it can be stiff. Same like rubber. If you're not working on if the rubber is not working, then it's going to stiff. If it's going to have warm up, it's going to be flex outward, right? So the same way we are going to work on like the same the same concept that we are going to apply on the muscles. Okay, so when you're bending forward, make sure that where you are feeling the strength, make sure it's coming on the insertion point, not on the origin point. If it's coming on the origin point, it means you are pressing from the insertion point. Insertion point means ending point. Okay, so if it's not coming on the insertion point, but it is meant to be there in the insertion point. Okay, जब आप muscle
some echo and it's not that clear. I can understand, I can grab the words, but like I am trying to understand, but it's something that clear. Like,
yeah, actually, I forgot my airport. I don't know where it is.
okay, okay. Okay, I'll get my headphones. So
Yes. No. Yeah.
So we are talking about forward bend now. Okay, so we do have two forward bend. First is standing one, second is your sitting one. Okay, so standing one, which one you feel more comfortable or more intense? Like standing one is intense or sitting one is intense? What do you feel like?
Which one is comfortable? You are asking, right?
Yeah, comfortable and intense. Like which one is intense? Which one
Bending. I think forward bending is more intense.
more intense?
Yes, especially Paschimottanasana. If you are doing like this and try to touch our head to our knee.
This is your sitting one. Okay, this is your seated forward. But as you told that comfortable, standing one is comfortable.
Yes.
See, in when you practice Ashtanga Vinyasa, where
Yes.
is sitting forward bend at the end or in the beginning, well, in the very beginning.
Sir, I don't get it. Your question. When we are doing Ashtanga yoga,
Forward bend, sitting forward bend in Ashtanga Vinyasa, where it comes at the end or in the very beginning.
Standing pose or bending one. It's a very beginning, right? Like
Standing one that comes at the very beginning, but sitting one that comes at the end. Once your body
at
is
the end.
right?
Yes.
That's how we can understand that standing one is like a kind of preparatory poses for for your deep forward bend in the sitting.
Okay.
Okay. So in the standing forward bend, you can easily stretch your hamstring, your hips all together. But in the sitting one, it's going to be very hard because see the center of the gravity. Now look at the center of the gravity. My center of the gravity is right here on my hips. And it's also coming on my knee, it's also coming on my heel. So what that means? The center of the gravity is divided into different centers. Your heels is also, being pulled. Your knees is also pulled, and your hips are also being pulled towards the gravity, right? So we have different center of the gravity. That's why it's it's divided into different centers. But in standing, what happens? You will have, profound. You will have profound foundation and then small foundation, and you can easily find the center of gravity because it's very small right here. Now, this is my center of the gravity. I can easily get down, right? The gravity is also helping me out to extend my limit. But when you're sitting at this time, the gravity is not helping me out to pull, so that I can pull it more further. All right. So in this type is sort of preparatory poses for you to go for the deep forward bend. All right. In the standing, what we usually do in the forward bend, we try to drop our head down. We try to feel like we have to have stretch on the hamstrings only. No, forward bend is all about your posterior group of muscle. It means you have to have a stretch on your calf muscles. You have to have a stretch on your hamstring, back of your knee. You have to have a stretch on your hips and your lower back, your thoracic, and your neck all together. I mean, your posterior means the back side of the body. It has to be stretched enough. Okay, so don't in the forward, don't stretch only your hamstrings. Stretch your lower back, stretch your hips, stretch your upper back, stretch your hamstring, stretch your calf, all of them all together. All right.
Okay.
So in standing forward bend, what is the common mistake that we do? We try to bend forward. We make hump on our back.
Hump on. Yes.
We bend forward like this in the beginning. Right?
Yes.
Suppose I'm a beginner here. I will just feel the stretch on your here. I cannot get my hands down. Right? But I feel any stretch on my lower back, any stretch on my thoracic region, any stretch on my hips. I'm just feeling the hamstring only. Okay, what that? It means that we are just making our hamstring flexible. We are not working out. We are not working out on our lower back. Neither we are working on thoracic region. So make sure in order to feel the stretch in your entire posterior group, you have to bend it. Okay, because hamstring stretch is very easy to find. Whether you are doing wide leg forward bend or trikonasana or other poses, you can easily feel the stretch here, right? But when you feel the stretch on our hips, on our lower back, on our thoracic region, on our hamstring, on our calf muscle, all together, right? In order to feel the stretch on your hips and your lower back, we are always supposed to bend our legs. Okay, so this time we do not feel stretch here. We are just feeling the stretch on our hips. So you have to bend your knees and touch your abdomen on your thighs. This is how. See, my legs are bent. I'm touching the abdomen on my thighs and I'm looking forward. And one more thing about this, make sure your hand is not coming down. Okay, it has to be beside the ears like this. Okay, it's not supposed to be like this. Your hand has to walk forward and then it has to come beside your ears, not down below than the ear.
Okay.
And in this, you will feel the stretch on your hips, on your lower back, and the thoracic region. At the same time, on here, on this serratus anterior, your sideways muscle. So stretch your hands forward, work on this. Don't work to bend down. All right?
Okay.
So what I want you to do is perform this with a straight leg and with a bent leg, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Try. I'm just looking at you. Yeah, where? Yeah, come. Yeah, get to the posture. Yes, Nehaji. Go for the forward bend. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just
Yeah, from here, from the side, bend down. Okay. For the beginners, people are going to do like this. Okay. So you are going to now you have to modify. How you are going to modify? Slightly bend your knee. First, slightly bend your knee, very nice, and then try to touch your abdomen on your thighs.
okay.
Good job. Now from here, walk your hands forward, stretch your hands forward, very nice. But don't let your body weight come to your toes. Keep your toes, keep your toes there, but don't shift your body weight on your toes. Keep your
Mhm.
body weight on your heels and keep pushing your hips backward. Walk your hands forward, but push your hips
Mhm.
back. Walk your hands, but push your hips backward. Very nice. So now you must be feeling the stretch on your hips, your lower back, and your calf muscle, right?
Mhm.
So just feel the stretch on your hips and your lower back. Bend your legs, very nice. Walk your hands forward, keep stretching forward, but don't shift your body weight on your hands. Hands are only for the slide support.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, more forward, more forward. Turn your head down, turn your head down. Very nice. See, there are two actions are happening. There are two actions that is happening in the forward bend. One is your hip is being pushed to the right side, and your hands are being pushed with the right side, left side.
Mhm.
You have to coordinate with these two actions together. Your hip is also going to move this side. Your hands is going to move this side. So they both
Mhm.
have to maintain in such a way where you will sustain this strength on your hips in your arms together.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
So make sure you don't bend your head down. See, this is how people usually do when they bend forward. So they are going to bend like this, and then they're going to place their hands down on the mat like this. Okay. So make sure your spine is straight like this.
Mhm.
You're going to keep your spine straight. First, bend your knees, and then keep your spine straight.
Mhm.
Alright. Then, if you're going to put your hands out, if you're going to put your hands out, you can use the block or anything in front. Like I have used the roller. You can use the bed, sofa, anything, whatever is nearby you. You're going to stretch your hands forward, 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 and pushing it back. At the same time, keep pushing it back, walk your hands forward, 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 but don't shift your body weight on your toes. Your body weight has to be there on your heels. Sustain it there. Keep stretching your hips upward, 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 and then hold here for 5. Keep stretching upward, hold. Yeah, don't shift your body weight on your toes. अपने hips को पीछे करिए और पीछे करो. Take your hips back, more back, more back, more back. Take your hips more back. Yes. Hands are side support. You don't need to put the pressure on your hands. Hands are going to be so light. Yes. Keep pushing your hips backward. Yes, this is how we do forward. Very nice. And stay here. One. And feel the stretch on your hips, not on your hamstring. Feel the stretch on your lower back, not on your hamstring again. Feel the stretch in your arms, not on your hamstring. Move forward, forward. It's not lifting. It's all about your back muscles, like both muscles. Yes, now release down wherever you want. Okay, so now let's understand the rotation of our body, like how our legs rotate in this forward bend, how our arms rotate in forward bend. All right. So when you're performing a forward bend, the tendency of your legs to rotate inward. Okay, never rotate your legs outward, if you are the moment when you rotate your legs outward, you will have shoulder, hip impingement. Okay, you will definitely have, bone on bone compression. Your femur bone is going to, compress your pelvic girdle. Okay, if you're rotating your legs outward, make sure you're rotating your legs inward like this, and you're trying to bend down from your pelvis girdle. Your pelvis girdle is going to move. You don't bend from your lower back. You bend from the pelvis girdle. Your entire pelvis girdle. Okay, this is also called anterior pelvic tilt. When you are moving your hips backward, this is called posterior pelvic tilt.
Okay.
Do you know the anterior pelvic tilt and posterior pelvic tilt?
Yes, sir.
You know the anterior pelvic tilt, posterior pelvic tilt.
Yes, sir. Now.
Yeah, what I'm saying that do you know about anterior pelvic tilt and posterior pelvic tilt?
No, you said explain, but I couldn't hear clearly.
No, I did not. Sorry. Okay, so when your hip is moving forward like this, this is anterior. When you're squeezing your hips in, this is called posterior. Okay, in the forward bend, we are supposed to rotate our hips inward. This is called anterior.
Okay.
Anterior
Okay.
means moving forward towards the gravity. Posterior means we are lifting up your pelvic girdle. All right. So in the forward bend, we have to have our hips first rotating inward. Then you are bending down from the lower back and then stretching it forward towards the straight ahead. That's
Okay.
okay.
Mhm.
So what are the mistakes that we usually do in this forward bend? So please tell me like mistake
Again,
we do.
sir, question.
What mistake we do in the forward bend?
Forward bending, when we do, first we make a hump like on our
Yes, on our spine.
and we are not giving the pressure to our lower back, like the pressure must be on lower back and on our hips, but instead of we just feel a pressure here.
Yes.
So that mistake we are doing. I was also making a mistake when like I was before I joined this class. I generally made hump on my back.
So initially, what actually happens? You are making your hips flexible. You are making your lower back flexible. But eventually, we have to have strength on the hamstring too. Okay, so it's not like you don't have to feel the stretch on your hamstring. It's like in the beginning, initially, we will work on that hip opening. Like we will stretch our glutes muscle. We will stretch our lower back. That is then you can keep your spine straight. If you are just keep on making hump on your back, it won't never be it won't be flexible. Okay, so when you keep your spine straight like this, so this is called extension. When you're bending forward, this is called flexion, right? So in the forward bend, we need to have extension. Extension is going to be like this, right? Like this, like this, like this. This is extension. But when you're bending forward, this is called flexion. This is extension. This is flexion. Okay. So make sure in the forward bend, your hip is moving forward. This is called flexion of your hips. When your hip is moving forward, this is flexion of your hips. But when you're bending forward, make sure your spine is extended, extending your spine, elevating your spine forward towards the gravity. So that's how we have to bring enough consciousness in our movement.
Okay.
Okay. So we do have three muscles in our hamstring. First is semitendinosus, second is semimembranosus, and third is biceps femoris. Okay, so you will Google it and then write down its name. So we have three muscles in our hamstring. So these all three muscles are connected to each other. So we have to have enough stretch on all three muscles. If you're just stretching your one muscle, if you're rotating your legs inward, that is then you can feel the stretch on all muscles. But if you're keeping your legs straight, then maybe you will stretch your biceps femoris, maybe you will stretch your semitendinosus, standing member now. Okay, so one of these muscles is going to stretch when you are keeping your leg straight. But when you when you keep your leg straight, at the time you will when you keep your leg straight without rotation, you may have stretch only on the one muscle. But when you are rotating your leg inward, at the time you will have stretch on all three muscles. Okay. So how do we rotate? Our legs is going to rotate like this. This is the internal rotation, like out to in.
Out to in, okay.
This is the internal rotation. When it's coming from out to in, this is internal rotation. When it's coming from inside to out, this is called out rotation of your legs. And in the same thing happens in your arms. When it's coming from in to out, it's outer rotation. When it's coming out to in, this is internal rotation. All right.
Okay.
So this is how internal rotation and outer rotation happens.
Okay.
So let's move further to the Padangushanasana, Padasasana. We have Padangushanasana. This one where we grab our toes and bend down like this. We have another posture where we put our both hands underneath our feet. This is your Padasasana. Okay, these asanas also gives us nice stretch for our hamstring and our entire body. Okay, so when you put your hands underneath your feet, I love that stretch because at the same time, where it gives us stretch. When you're pushing your wrist down, at the same time your shoulder is going to be pulled. Okay, at the same time your scapula, your lower back muscle, all are going to be pulled in there. Okay, so putting your hands underneath your feet is going to give you nice stretch. Again, if you are not able to put your hands underneath your knees, then bend your knees. Sorry, underneath your feet, then bend your knees. Yes. Slightly bend your knees and make sure in the forward bend your spine has to be straight. If your spine is not straight, then there is no benefit of doing this posture. Okay, just bring all the consciousness in your spine, all the consciousness in your lower back.
Yeah, okay. Correct, sir?
Yes, correct. Okay. Yeah, now put your hands down underneath your feet. Now slightly bend your knees, slightly bend your knees. Yes, good. It's very. So your abdomen and your thighs, they both are, being like sandwich. So you have to touch your abdomen on your thighs and, no gap in between your abdomen and your thighs. That's it. All right. So that's
Okay.
how we're going to do the forward bend.
Okay.
And if you are looking for the, if you want to use the props, like block, you can use the block spread. You can put your hands when you're putting your hands underneath your feet at the time, have that more strength, right? But if you put down on the at the time,
Yes, sir.
yes, I said when you put your hands underneath your feet, at that time you must have felt more strength. But when you don't put your hands underneath your feet, when you keep your hands just like this, like on the floor, you don't feel much strength, right?
Yes.
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 So we need to have something to bring awareness, within or bring the awareness from outside. Okay, we need sources to to gather the energy, right? So when you're using the block, at the same time you are going to push your hands on the block. Let's suppose this is the block. So what I'm going to do? I'm gonna you have two blocks. Okay, one here, other here. So you're gonna push the block so that you will be more aware of this extension of your spine. Okay. So
Okay.
again, this is a prop, as I told you before in the teaching methodology class, right? So we are going to use the block or we are going to use this strap. always in the forward bend or any other position. Many people, they don't feel any stress in the forward bend. What they can do, they can put blocks underneath their feet. They have to step on the block, and they're gonna bend forward so that they are going to get height from the floor. Okay,
Okay.
like one block, two block, and then they're gonna bend forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's how they can increase their flexibility. But many a time what happens, like whoever do forward bend, like who go for that, to that optimal level or go beyond its limit of the forward bend, they usually fall into injury as such as slip disc, herniated disc, and other things. Okay, so when you are going for too much forward bend, like if you are already flexible, your head is touching on the feet, like almost touching on the feet. It's not touching completely, but it's touching on the feet, and you're pushing yourself forward. You may tear your ligaments, and you may create a space in the in between the vertebra. The movement when it create space in between the vertebra, so what's going to happen? That lubricant, that synovial fluid is going to come out from its place. When it comes out from its place, it's going to pinch your nerves. Okay, this is called herniated. This is called slip disc. Okay, when your disc slips, this is called slip disc. All right. So when you're doing too much forward bend, okay, so make sure you know your limit, your body better know that like till what extent we can go further. You are a beginner, you will have different range of motion. You are advanced, different range of motion. But advanced people sometimes what they don't they forget about the consciousness, right? They don't know like what is their limit because they are already flexible. They start to move their leg down. They start to move their leg forward. They start to move their head behind their hips. So these things are okay, but if you're going further than this, see, as I told you before, that access of everything is harmful. When you don't know your limit, when you don't know like till what extent are you know muscles can go, till what extent are spinal extension can be there. So it's going to fall into injury. Okay. So make sure you know your limit. Even after you're flexible, like stay there in that flexibility until that level, and then start to build the strength, not work on the flexibility too much. Okay.
Okay.
We guys are not that much flexible, so it's fine to like extend ourselves, but make sure like whoever I have seen, like whoever has got slip disc or herniated disc, it happens because of the forward bend. Back bend does not give you much, very less reason, very few reasons are there who is going to lead you to the slip disc or herniated disc. But forward bend, maximum time forward bend is going to lead you to this slip disc and herniated disc. Okay, so let's suppose one has got slip disc. So doctor they suggest them to not to do forward bend, right? Because when they are going to do forward bend, again it's going to create a space. Again, if it's going to create a space, is that synovial fluid is going to come out from its place. Okay.
Okay.
So work on strengthening, not too much work on the flexibility of this forward bend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why does this happen actually? We have here on our pelvis girdle, like back side, like below the lower back, we have sacroiliac joint, sacrum and coccyx. We have two joints, coccyx and sacrum. So this is called sacroiliac joint. When we bend forward, see, actually we are bending from the pelvis girdle, right? Our pelvis girdle has got its limit. It has limited range of motion. It cannot go further than this, right? So if I'm bending down, 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 even after I'm able to, I'm about to touch my feet, again pushing myself forward, 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 forward. Now I will not feel stretch here on my hamstring because it has got its limit. It cannot go further than this. Even my lower back does not go further than this. But even after this, people, if somebody is going to push you forward, 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 what's going to happen? From here, from the sacral joint, is going to take that out. Okay, this sacroiliac, this sacroiliac joint, ligaments or tendons, they are going to start tear. So this is called sacroiliac joint pain. It again happens because of the forward bend. Okay, so forward bend is also good for our body, and forward bend, like too much forward bend, is again bad for our body.
Okay,
Okay.
so pain or as you say, silk days. So if we do a counter pose, doesn't it help us if we do counter pose? So it's like to balance our body.
Yeah. See, when you're doing with the limitation, then it's fine. Like counter pose is going to help you out to to get your muscles back in its place. But if you're stretching your muscles excessively, then your counter pose is not going to help you out. Like let's suppose your ligament has got torn, so that counter pose is not going to get this back or
Okay.
recover.
Because last month when I did my forward bending, at that time I feel a pain in my tailbone for like I think 1-2 days. But if I do a counter pose, then it helps me to come out from that pain.
Don't worry about it. That pain is different one. Okay.
Okay.
If your ligament will tear, you will understand and you won't be able to do so many poses. But if your
Okay.
tailbone, it means they were stable, like there were a lot of stiffness, and your muscles were working out to stretch it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this, because in the forward bend you will have stretch on your hips, on your tailbone, on your lower back, everywhere around. But
Mm-hmm.
like if don't one more thing, when you're doing forward bend, make sure your body is in a form. If your body is not in a form, if somebody is going to push you without warm up, then it may tear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure your body is in a form, and then you are trying to go further to that optimum level of the posture.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't jump into the posture and asking somebody to push you. Okay, so be careful about this. This happens like in yoga, people they got into injury a lot of time. Okay, so
Okay.
they have to be careful about it. And like on the other side, if below 15 or 16 people are doing, like the children, they are doing yoga, so they don't feel much strength because like they are already flexible. They don't need to they don't get enough stiffness on their lower back, on their hip, because they have got enough movement on their body, right? They it's building itself. This is the maturity time of them, right? Their muscles are being mature. Their lower back, their spinal cord, their bone, they are being mature. All right. So till 18, 19, they are being mature. But below them, it's in process, right? So in that processing part, if you're working on the flexibility, it's fine. But after this process, after this maturity, then it's going to be a little harder to to become that much flexible as compared to as similar like the children. Okay, so it will definitely take time, but it won't be the same like when you were 13 or 14. It's going to be different now.
Okay.
So, and in the sitting forward bend, how do we do sitting forward bend?
Sorry. How?
How do we do seated forward bend?
Okay. Your voice is, I'm not understanding because something is breaking here and there, but I'm trying to explain that in forward bend, our spine should be straight. This is an important thing. Our like if we like do, then our ears, like our hands between our ears in between our hands, like
Yes.
that. Yeah. Like
Yes.
our spine should be straight. And we feel a pressure on our hip and lower back and our hamstring.
Yes. And in the sitting forward bend, we do a little different. Like it's a little different from the standing one. Okay. So in the sitting forward, what do? We open our legs hip width apart. Okay. Because we need to have this internal rotation in our legs, right?
Okay.
So in order to rotate your legs, you need to have you need to have a space in between your legs, right? So from here again, You're gonna feel the sitting bone on the floor and rotate it forward and bend your knees. It's not necessary to hold your big toes. First, very important to touch your abdomen on the thighs and grab your big toes and bend down and look front. So this is how again you are going to stretch your lower back, your hamstring,
Yes.
hips
Yes.
together. Again,
Oh,
keep your spine straight in this forward bend.
Now I feel a pressure here. Before that, I feel pressure only on my hamstring. Yeah,
Yes.
here only. But now I feel, yeah, if I try to touch my abdomen on my thigh, I feel pressure on my lower back.
Yes. So make sure you're having that stretch on your lower back. So once you become flexible from the lower back, then it's okay to keep your legs straight. All right. Yeah, that's how we do forward bend.
Okay.
So who is not supposed to do the forward bend? What are the contraindications of the forward bend?
Who has a high blood pressure, BP, or already lower back pain, septic, or like ligament problem, like.
Yeah. So these people they cannot do these forward bend. And who is supposed to do the forward bend? If they have stiffness on their lower back. See, if you have lower back pain, like there may be a two reasons. First, it could be because of that stiffness on your lower back. Second, it could be because of that herniated disc or slip disc. Okay, herniated disc and slip disc, they both are same. Okay, don't get confused in between both of them.
Okay.
Herniated disc or slip disc. Okay, so if it is happening because of slip disc or herniated disc, then we are not supposed to do forward bend. But if it's happening because of the stiffness, like your lower back muscle has got stiff, that is pulling you back, so then you have to do forward bend. Okay, so you guys will understand. Like if I have lower back, I will understand it's happening on my spine or it's happening on my hands, on my muscles. That we can. Okay, so accordingly, we are going to change. Like if it's happening because of that muscle stiffness, we will do forward bend. If it's happening because of that, spinal cord slip, then we will not do forward bends. Okay. So this is how we do forward bend. Any other question that you want to ask about this?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
Okay. Sir, can we start? Can we take one complete vinyasa flow session, like practical?
We will do it. We will do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to come early tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Then let's finish today's session. Sit in that comfortable pose. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's chant 1 Om followed by 3 shots. Inhale. Shanti. Shanti. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your head down. Open your eyes while blinking. Namaste. Okay, enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.